this side of paradise. They go to this planet, and they're on this planet is called the Omicron colony. This is really wild. I did not hear the Omicron colony at first until I heard the word, and I said, did they just say Omicron? And they did. The Federation, Star Trek, the Enterprise, it went to that planet to check on them. And everybody was like, they don't know how they survived on that planet. They were healthy. The Omicron spores from the flower made everybody happy, and they don't know how they survived. They did not make any improvement. They just lived a sedentary lifestyle in this movie, and it was called the Omicron spores. And these people were all like real nice and whatever. They didn't have a care in the world or anything. And Captain Kirk, this is important. Captain Kirk's thinking, why are they so happy? What have you all been doing? How could you survive? You shouldn't even been able to survive a week. And they take Spock. This girl takes Spock to the flower, and the flower sprays on Spock, and he's all like that too. Come to find out, it's the spores. These spores from this flower, this side of paradise, once you got the spores inside of you, you didn't have a care in the world. You didn't. There was no care in the world. And then somehow the whole entire crew ended up getting the spores in them. And they couldn't evacuate the colonists because of it. And then the Captain Kirk, it's going to get interesting. Listen really closely. Captain Kirk went aboard his ship, and he saw that they disabled everything. They said nobody's going nowhere. Everybody left their post. They were all going to go and join the colony, the Omicron colony. Everybody was going to live in peace. It's going to be paradise. You don't have a thing in the world to worry about. And then he gets sprayed on the ship. And then he's reminded of his past or something. Somehow he got angry because he fought it. He fought it in his mind. And he realized anger broke the Omicron spores, the grip the Omicron had on him. So the only way to battle the Omicron spores was through anger. Remember Mr. Who said people are going to get a lot angrier? Remember that? You got a good hello and good afternoon, kings and queens coaching group. Shalom. They're going to get angrier. Let me read you the plot. And in order to get the people angry, who was all the crew on that planet, they had to make a certain frequency sound. And they sounded the frequency, and everybody started getting angry, just like the aliens in the Twilight Zone, how they turned their frequency down. They did the same thing here in Star Trek. They created a frequency, Spock did, to make the people angry, and it broke the Omicron, whatever it had on them, and the people ended up leaving the planet. Now here's I was sitting there, when I saw my mom watching, I said, well, I'm going to watch that too, because I think it's something I'm going to know. Want to see. Look at this right here. This is the thing on it. I don't have my, good afternoon, good evening. This side of paradise, it's the 24th episode. We're in the year 24. We are in the year 2024. Oh my gosh. That is not a coincidence. We are in the year 2024, and that is the 24th episode, and they're talking about the Omicron spores from these, I don't think that they were they native plants or something like that? Greetings. Yeah, don't you play with Gina. Does Gina look like she's a player? I'm not a player. I'm not, don't you come on here and play with me because I'm not in a playing mood. This is serious what's taking place. No, you just got yourself blocked. You're going to come on here and say that? You got yourself blocked. I don't play. I don't. I promise you I don't. Yeah. The second time, oh, they're unsubscribing people left and right on this channel for some strange reason, but that's okay. You think about me. Oh, okay. So y'all gonna look at this. So in this episode, it's the 24th episode, and we're in the year 2024. This side of paradise. It was okay. Somebody says Sensinski. Ralph Sensinski. What's that president of that one Ukraine? Is he a Sensinski or something? The Ukraine president, does he have this in his name too? In Sensinski or something like that? I don't think this is a coincidence. 24th episode. Yeah. You found your friend. Let me look at this. So in this episode, the USS Enterprise visits a planet where the inhabitants are under the influence of a strange plant life. Oh, Zelensky. See, it's right here. So let's just put that in. Zelensky. Look at that. Zelensky. That's right. It's close enough. It is close enough. Okay. So this is the plot. This title is taken from the poem Tierra Tahiti. Wonder what that's about. Oh, that's like Apple Brooks, honey. Apple Brooks. We got Rupert Brooke. 1920. This Side of Paradise. You remember that episode? Yeah. Let me do this. Let me come down here. So, the USS Enterprise is ordered to a Federation colony on Omicron. SETI. 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 Well, we know what SETI is. SETI is a satellite, right? SETI. Or the SETI thing. SETI. Satellite, SETI something, you all. Is it a satellite? Yeah, oh, the SETI Institute. Okay. So they're ordered the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. So the U.S., well, that's SETI. It's close enough to Officer McCoy beamed down to the colony, and they discover all the colonists are alive and well. A surprise, since the planet is bathed in Berthold rays, a form of radiation which humans cannot survive for longer than 1 week. Berthold. Yeah. So we got that. Their leader, Elias Sandoval, welcomes them and explains they only lost communication. They have a botanist meet Spock 6 years before. 6 years before, so 2014. No. 6 years before she met Spock, and it's the 24th episode. It's 2018. Okay, or let's see it. She's in love with him. She's all lovey-dovey. Sandoval. So we're going to find this. They show how they survived. They survived because of these strange flowers. The flowers expel the spores that cover Spock, after which he professes love. He disregards the order to evacuate the colony, and the rest of the landing party exposed to the spores with them as part of a symbiotic relationship with their human hosts. The spores provide perfect health, including protection from the Berthold rays. Hello, Al, honey. So these Omicron spores from this flower provide perfect health for their host because they're forming a symbiotic relationship with the humans. Nice. and they're all happy. And some of them had illnesses before. They did. They had illnesses. Somebody had a missing pancreas or something like that. But to their surprise, upon examination of these colonists, everybody's in perfect health. Every single person. And they cannot explain it. But this is the 24th episode, and we're in the year 2024 of the Omicron colony, the evacuation, something about paradise is what it is. This side of paradise is what it's called. And we've already got a clue up here. We have a Sinsinski, a whatever, Alinsky. Okay, so we already got some common things here. Let me get down to it. They have to use anger. They got to use the anger because the flowers have the spores. Everybody has the same behavior, you all. The spores cause everybody to have the same behavior because of their symbiotic relationship. So he returns to the ship, and he's about to beam down, but he is seized by frustration at his own abandonment of the ship. He got mad because he was going to abandon his ship, and he prepares to leave, but as he is about to beam down, he is seized by frustration. Oh, I already read that part, Gina. Come on now. And the effect of the spores disappear. He surmises that violent emotions destroy the Omicron spores. Violent emotions. Kirk lures Spock back aboard the Enterprise and uses derogatory, oh, look at this, derogatory racial remarks to goad him into attacking. And as Spock is about to bludgeon with a stool, he notices the spore's influence on him is gone. This is, look at these key words in here, you all. Same thing's happening today. People are getting angry, and they're using that too, racial slurs and stuff. Just like on this episode, to get the people angry. Could there be the slightest bit of a symbiotic relationship taking place within the human host from a Omicron-like spore, like as on this planet, the Omicron colony, and everybody's so peaceful and stuff like that. Everybody's so loving and peaceful, but we can't have no peace or love. So he gets Spock to make a thing. Let's get it, you all. Let's get this. He gets Spock to, get upset. Oh, this is going way too fast. I don't have my one thing. He's going to get Spock. I got to do it. Kirk, what do? They come aboard and they find Spock no longer is affected by the spores. And she's frustrated. And they broadcast, here's what they do. They broadcast an irritating subsonic frequency to the crew's communicators, provoking fights and the colonists and crew. Among the colonists and crew, and once everyone is cleansed of the spores, Sandoval agrees to the evacuation. So everybody gets fat, they get mad, they make them get angry, and then they fight. Who is this Sandoval? Is there a Sandoval or somebody? We have this going on. Maybe not this exact scenario. It could be a flip-flop scenario. It really could. It could be the exact opposite taking place. They want people to get angry. But we know this Omicron thing was out there, just like that took over the people in series 24, and we're in the year 2024. And why did they have to call it the Omicron colony? And why did they have to say they had to form a symbiotic relationship with their human hosts, and it kept them all healthy? All healthy. That's wild. That is really, really wild if you think about it. And SETI. Hello, Susan B. Honey. Amazon Fire TV will not let me watch your videos. Really? They keep cutting them off. Well, why me? Why my videos? Will they cut off anybody else's videos? Why's it got to be my videos that they do that to? Yeah, don't know. Yeah, this is really, it really strikes me as quite strange, this colony. The only way to fight the Omicron spores is to have a subatomic frequency that is not nice, and it causes the people to get angry and they start fighting. But they wanted to, that Omicron wanted to create a paradise where everybody lived in harmony with the Omicron because everybody had the same behavior. But then the captain says, is that all that they're meant for? Just everybody just, there's no drive for the human or nothing. You just exist, just mere existence. That's what he was saying. He didn't want to merely exist. This looks like cubes. It really does. The Omicron colony, and I'm not going to say much more. I'm not. Oh, yeah, reset your app. Reset it. Yeah. Christine, honey, I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV, sit down and really watched anything since around 2014, but my mother watches TV and she had the TV on and it was Star Trek. That was one thing that I would watch. And I thought, I'm going to watch that because I want to see what they have to say if it's tied into today, and it does. I wonder how many people watch TV and how many people don't. I don't know, because you got the internet now. That's what we got. People like the truth. And yeah, that's right, Al Honey. You got it. Yeah. No, there's not very many people that watch TV anymore. This, that Omicron Star Trek colony, look at that. It's real. I really do. See, they had to build a subsonic transmitter capable of destroying the spores in everyone's system. They mean their body. Liberating the entire colony. They had to use anger. It was anger. So is that what they're doing right now? They're making everybody angry? Because a lot of people are getting angry. Are they doing it to destroy the colony? You think that there's some truth to this? They want to destroy the Omicron colony with anger. And by doing so, they're going to build a subsonic transmitter capable of to low frequency. Was it a low frequency that they did? Yeah. He broadcast an irritating subsonic frequency is what they did. An irritating subsonic frequency. Wow. Look. Spock. Spock says his experiences on the planet. He replies, I have little to say about it, Captain, except for the first time in my life, I was happy. Wow. Wow. Maybe somebody doesn't want the humans to be happy. Really, if you think of the opposite. They don't want the peace. They don't want the love. They want the anger to literally break out because they don't want us to have a symbiotic relationship with the Creator, perhaps. They don't want us to have the love on the inside where there is no hatred, where there is nothing but peace and tranquility. They want anger. They got clues in this stuff and they're out there in space. They're telling you what they did. Yeah. Yeah, a knowing of love. Somebody is just like, here, well, let me, yeah. Yeah, we can do it. We can all play moderator. We can. Because we don't want a symbiotic relationship with you trolls. We do not want to have a symbiotic relationship with the trolls on here. That's a big no-no, okay? We don't. You can keep your anger. You can keep your rudeness to yourself, because we're not going to join you within that type of a relationship. We're not. We're all about love, truly. That's right. All about L-O-V-E. Al, honey, we got the trolls out. I think that's wonderful. They don't like us. That's okay. They don't like the L-O-V-E on the inside. Let me do this. There were some other things about it. Let me see if we can go on. Why was Kirk? Kirk was able to break the spell. This side of paradise. Well, what if in, well, you see 124, episode something, whatever, 24, 124. I don't know. They had expected to find no survivals of the agricultural colony, but they did because of that. Let me see the Omicron spores, the Omicron spore colony, spores. Let's see what they did to the humans. What did they do? Well, the Omicron spores, what did they do to the humans? See, come on now, we gotta get this going. What did they do to the humans? They formed a symbiotic relationship with the human beings. Formed symbiotic. So they had to have some type of intelligence. Symbiosis. Oh, the National Institute of Health. This analysis suggested that the Omicron did not descend from something. It originated from its own ancestral strain. So from a flower like on Star Trek. Why didn't the Federation use the planet Omicron Ceti III? They were parasitic spores, they said. So now my nose is starting to tickle. Okay, Gina, you have to announce that? Yeah, because this is from the spiritual realm. Why didn't the Federation use the planet Omicron Ceti III? The plants are, to put it mildly, creepy. They are creepy. If you haven't seen the plants, that's what they look like. They're creepy. They look like fly catchers. You know the fly catcher plants? That's what they look like. So we wanted to know why they didn't use it. The parasitic spores that they release invade the host, the humanoids, such as humans and the Vulcans. So they invade the host. And, well, the species list. The Omicron Ceti spore, a symbiotic within either plant or animal species, and the origin of the spores is unknown. This is from the Daystrom Institute Technical Library. Well, if the Omicron Ceti thing, they lived inside the plant. Wait, that looks like that's not a Star Trek thing. Is that a Star Trek thing, or is this real? No, this is really interesting. The Omicron Ceti pod plant. What on earth? This is the Federation. They would say that they would spray the cells onto any uninfected person who came close enough, infecting them with the spores, and then the pod plants were discovered by Leila Kalomi, a botanist who was a member of the Sandoval. I have seen this name in the news. Who is this Sandoval in the news? I really have seen it in the news. Let's try to find it. That name is really sticking out. Sandoval. I just got to look at it. Sandoval. Sandoval. I want to say Political. No, he's the governor of Nevada, former governor. Political silence. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too far in there. I just want to read that. I really do want to read it. The species list. He's a species. They wanted, listen, an Omicron, can we see that, you all? This is Star Trek, the Omicron SETI spores, a symbiotic organism. Let me just read this. A symbiotic organism that is capable of living within either a plant or a species. The origin of the spores is unknown. They were discovered in the Omicron SETI III by a biologist. They went somewhere. They drifted through space is what they did. They just drifted through space in 2264, and they infected to the planet. They infected the pod plants, and the plants infected anyone that came near them by spraying them, and it caused a dramatic increase in the health of the infected person. And it repaired any effects of the previous injuries of their bodies. Any trace of broken bones, even regrowing or a removed appendix. The spores also repaired the damage caused by the Berthold radiation, which is fatal to all living things with enough exposure. An infected person became completely immune to the Berthold rays, and the spores actually thrived on Berthold rays. Do we got any Berthold rays? Look, these people were void. They were void under the influence of the spores. They were lack of any negative emotions, such as hate, fear, or anger. However, they also showed a complete lack of ambition or responsibility, becoming entirely focused on their own immediate pleasure. Oh, useless eaters, right? Useless eaters. We got to have something for those humans to do because they can just relax and just live their life. The military did. They wanted to stomp out religious extremism by doing something in the future. You remember seeing that video? They were giving like a briefing, and they had this weapon to where they would literally just get rid of that. And or, they could do something else, which they did. Yeah. I'm going to go. It's getting hot in this garage right now. It is. It's really nice out. I'd walk the bridge, but there's no one to walk with. So I'm not going to walk the bridge. That's it, you all. This is what I wanted to say. This is all I wanted to say is that it's a Star Trek episode. And they had an Omicron. The shell disorder models detect that the Omicron is harder. Well, it's harder. Okay. Before their variant, they suggested that the attenuated precursor from the Pangolins may have entered the humans in 2017. So we have these parasitic spores is what we have. The parasitic spores entered the humans in 2017 or earlier, and this was based on the Omicron and attenuated with almost identical inner shells disorder as Pangolin before 2017. They got a shell disorder and they entered the human beings just like this. they entered the human beings before 2017. So I don't know when this episode was, but it was in the 70s, right? The Omicron spores, these parasitic things, they entered the humans. And there you go, right there. The side of paradise. It was documented. And they had to get angry in order to get rid of it. Pure anger, more or less. That's what they said. It was really interesting. So I'm going to go. I hope y'all got to watch that little bitty video, this little dress-up video. At least it's not wearing t-shirts, but there's nothing wrong with t-shirts either when you're working. That's right. They cut their exile from the outer space and they drifted, they drifted down in the night. I'll tell you what, this is really, really wild. It's like if aliens invaded the Earth, you had the black ship from the History Channel that was in orbit above the Earth, and it let down all these black spiky balls came out of it, and they formed a grid around the Earth. And when they landed on Earth, they were black spores. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see what their spores look like. Are they the Omicron spores from the plant? Omicron spores, plant species. Let's see what it looks like if we can get a picture of it. The Omicron spores are a non-sentient, non-humanoid species of plant, named after the planet on which they were first encountered, Omicron, Ceti 3. I'm just going to tell you something right now. This name right here, Mira, that name right there, that name right there. Let me tell you something. Back in 2018, when I first started doing what I was doing, I was taking pictures in the sky, and I remember getting this one like cloud ship. It looked like what one would say. Who was he? What was that person's name on that ship? I don't know who he was. But I was outside in the yard, and I was picking up, I truly was, I was picking up on that very name. That very name, Mira. Mira. That was in 2018. Oh. Who is that galactic? There's supposed to be a galactic commander. What was his name? This is, I took a picture in the clouds, and it literally looked like him in the clouds at the helm of a ship, and I can't, for the life of me, it's out of my mind now. But that name, Mira, oh, loud and clear in my mind, Mira. I don't know. I can't even think of the name of that. I don't know who it is. It's totally slipped my mind now. The mirror system of the Alpha Quadrant. The actual planet from which Omicron spores originated is unknown. That right there. 2018. I heard that word loud and clear. And I was thinking of a female